Welcome to Your Driver Mike. My name is Matt. I am Mike's twin brother, and I have been driving food delivery for years now on Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. And on DoorDash specifically, there are three key incentives and some brand new ones. And like you might be busy like I am, and I drive part-time. This is the first time I'm seeing these incentives, and after driving thousands of deliveries, I'm gonna give you my reactions and if these new incentives are worth it. So there are now three incentives for DoorDash, and the first, if you're unaware, is the Top Dasher. And this has been around for years, ever since I got started years ago. And essentially, if you follow their Top Dasher recommendations, you will get more opportunities than a non-Top Dasher. But let's get into what specifically has changed, the new incentives, and the first being this. The first one is accept more and earn more. And right away, if I'm a DoorDasher or I'm thinking about driving food delivery on DoorDash, this would be really good for someone starting out. So the way it works is if you accept at least 50% of the orders coming in, or up to 70+% of the orders coming in, if you accept those percentages, you get priority orders. So normally on the channel, we talk about strategy as a DoorDasher, and you want to look for peak pays or hot zones of the map on your app that have a lot of activity and a lot of extra incentive to start taking deliveries there. The peak pay will give you extra money to take deliveries in that location. But now the accept and earn more gets rid of some of that strategy, and it's asking you to accept 50% or 70% of any order coming in. And if you do, you're gonna get priority orders. What does that mean? That means you get the higher dollar orders as an incentive. So just keep in mind there are rules. So my opinion on this is they're very, very flexible. If you just wanna get on the road, you don't wanna worry about strategy, you just wanna accept as many orders as you can, maybe to stay busy. You don't wanna worry about the dollars per mile or how much you're making per the miles driven. This may be good for you because again, you have to accept about half of the orders or 70%. And if you accept 70%, you get even higher dollar orders coming in. The rules are that you have to maintain a 4.5 customer rating. So this goes no matter what. You want to give good quality if you're on a regular drive, if you're going after this incentive. 4.5, to be honest with you, is kind of low. If you're following the strategies that Mike teaches on the channel, you should have no problem reaching that number. So Mike threw me some questions to react to that'll explain which of these apps may be for you. So let's read the first one. Are any of these worth it, or should we just pick and choose orders per usual? Well, let me break down my thoughts on the first incentive, the accept and earn incentive. Yes, I do think that the accept and earn is worth it, especially if you're a new driver and you want to eliminate complexity. But now let's go into the guaranteed pay, something that's very rare in the food delivery space. So this one, the earn by time, it gives you a guaranteed amount per hour. Now the rules on this one is you can only decline one order per hour. So this begins the moment you accept an order and then ends that time that you're doing deliveries. It ends when you drop off the order at the customer's location. If you are on a stacked order and you're picking up two different orders at the same time, so you're going to one restaurant and picking up two orders or two separate restaurants, you get paid on that entirety of time on that guaranteed hourly rate. So just to break it down, we're talking about the earn by time incentive now, and you can dash anytime, and that goes for this one and the last incentive we spoke of. This one does not give you any type of priority orders. You're not going to be sent higher dollar orders because they are giving you that guaranteed hourly rate. If you forget to accept an order because you're busy and you miss the timer and it counts down to 0 and you do not accept an order, that will count towards your one order decline per hour requirement. If you're currently on an order and you decline a stacked order, that actually won't go against you for your one decline per hour requirement. So if you decide to end this earn by time incentive, you actually have to wait a full hour to get back online doing the earn by time incentive. Let me break these down. Is this one worth it? Yes. Again, if you're maybe a new driver or you want to at least have a guaranteed amount of earnings, this is especially good in the early mornings or on the weekdays or in between lunch and dinner time. Those slow times, I would 100% consider this based on how much they're promising you in your specific market. This would be good. I like this one maybe a little better than the last one because especially on those slow times when it's really slow on all apps, this one, again, it's rare in the food delivery space, guarantees you an earnings per hour. Let's go over the next question. It says, if you could make an incentive program, what would it look like? So I think I really like those extra kicker bonuses, if you will. So if I deliver maybe 10 orders in 3 hours or something like that, then I get an extra $25 or $50. If I do 100 orders in an entire weekend, I get $250, something like that. Those numbers are not out of the question. We've seen it before and they're very, very rare. In instances where I was driving and Mike was driving on the same weekend, sometimes I would have the incentive where he would not. It was a really strange thing being that we were in the same city here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I like those dollar bonuses. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Next question, what's stopping you from dashing more? What would it take to dash more? Well, I love DoorDash, especially here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And like I said at the beginning of the video, my biggest obstacle, maybe like you, is time. And I have a growing family. I work full time. I'm doing this part-time and I make videos part-time to hopefully help you. And I try to drive as much as I possibly can. Time is my really biggest limiting factor. But again, if I want to make a guaranteed amount per hour, if I want to eliminate strategy as far as looking at peak pay or worrying about how much I'm going to make, I would do the earn by time, or the first one we spoke about, the earn more by accepting more. If you have a flexible schedule, let's say you have to drop your kid off at school or dance or whatever happens to be, and now you have an hour of time and you don't know really when you're going to get out there. You can't always get out there at the best times, weekends, dinner time, because maybe you're with your family. These are good incentives. This would eliminate those limiting factors that would get me on the road more by giving me a guaranteed amount per hour, or telling me if I accept 50% or 70%, then I get higher dollar earnings. So here's a really good question. Mike asked me this major question. What would the guaranteed amount have to be on that earning by time incentive to get me to accept that incentive? So here's the thing. You have to imagine you have no idea where these food orders are going to take you. And one of the biggest advantages, think about it, both of these incentives are trying to get you to accept orders. They're structured differently. The first one says you must accept orders. 50% of them or 70% of them. And then the second one says you can only decline one order. What is the main thing there that's in common? They're trying to get you to accept orders. So you don't know where you're gonna drive. You could drive honestly way out into the suburbs. We talk about avoiding that because there's no restaurants out there. Or you could be driving across town exactly where you don't wanna go, maybe in rush hour, and you're gonna be wasting time. It would have to be at least over $20 an hour. And I know we all want it to be $40 an hour or something like that. I don't think that's possible. Maybe something like $20 to $25 an hour would be great, because on average, what I've seen an average shift, and yes, I've made $40+ an hour. I've also made $15 or $10 an hour. If I could guarantee myself at least $20+ an hour, maybe that's low to you, maybe that's a little higher than what you're used to in your marketplace. I'd probably be on the higher end of that, like $24, $25, $26 would be realistic. I think that would be a good incentive. What do you think about that number down in the comment section below? So here's my overall thoughts. I think a lot of these are really, really good, but they also take away your ability to decline orders. And that is huge, especially if you are driving those popular times. The downside of these, I think, are that you have to accept orders. And it sounds crazy because you're thinking, well, that's how I make money, Matt. That's how I stay busy. I want to accept as many orders. Why would this be a downside? They're promising me a certain amount of money. Well, sometimes, and again, sometimes, through strategy or multi-apping, and that's driving with more than one app at the same time and only accepting the one best order that's best for you based on the dollar amount, sometimes you can make more than maybe what they're promising you on these incentives. So that would be the downside. There's a lot of upside. Again, if you want to eliminate complexity, those are my overall thoughts. Really, really good incentives for all the reasons I just said, so something to consider. I want to know what you think. I'm going to get back on the road very, very soon with more ride-along videos on Mike's channel. Again, I am Matt. I am Mike's twin brother on his channel, Your Driver Mike. Make sure to tap or click the screen here for more videos recommended to you from YouTube, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.